Thursday and does it for all. What's that? Had a work meeting. Oh, I see her there. We're not at it.
Long as you see come to the meeting.
I'm gonna hang up on you.
All right. Next up is minutes.
It's those other minutes. Sorry, just making sure that everyone knows it's the other minutes, the extra minutes that were there, not the ones in the packet. So.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes.
All second. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Next up is to authorize payment of bills. Fund vouchers 53 through 62, $2,058.35. A fund vouchers 132 to 187, $67,686.49. TNA fund vouchers 7 to 9, $1,575.80.
I'll make a motion that we accept and authorize the payment.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
I think we do have some vouchers that still need a couple initials.
Yep, I was bringing them in during the break.
Okay.
Second.
Good. Second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, approve the treasurer's reports.
Report I think she does number of review.
Good. All in favor?
I guess that, but 96.3% tax, like, really what happened now. And then pretty close.
We ended about 98 last year.
Okay.
So it will go up slightly each month until the last day, they're doing it on the first, but they're paid with penalties.
Okay.
So there are some people that always pay October 31st, November 1st, every month.
Okay. That's pretty good stuff. Yeah.
When I started, it was only low 90s, and we do consistent reminders every month, and that makes a difference.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, cemetery reports.
You know, things were sorted out with the getting our work.
Yeah, all that parts and stuff. Seen the red ones around the village, so I guess they're working pretty good.
The backhoes use 0 gallons of fuel.
Didn't dig any holes.
They had 6 burials.
Are we still being charged with the water department?
Mark.
That's nice.
What do they keep their car?
Yeah. Mark.
There's Bill on the log, so that's,
I think.
I actually just booked it, it was $320 for the month of April.
I'll make a motion to accept the cemetery report. I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay. Cool.
I read Chrome, I didn't see anything that was glaring for issues. I'll make a motion to accept the monthly report as stated.
I'll second that.
Any other
I
discussion?
have just a little bit,
Yes.
4/5/2023. I got this guy, a tenant, about 73. He just got this idea that he can just have a garbage dump by his trailer. And I called
You
Kevin.
can't.
I guess not. So Kevin came out and cited him for it, but it doesn't seem to be making any progress. What's the next step?
Bigger fines.
Yeah, I would say the next step, is he just not taking his trash to the curb?
Is it just building up in front of?
So the next step is that,
Fortunately, it's kind of in the back, so you can't see it.
Yeah,
I can see it.
I would say bigger fines and then eventually,
Don't we have a escalating fine?
We do, we've got fines in the code book, so we
Yeah.
have to just look it up. And there's a, they have to check with
It
Kevin,
is.
so he's got so many days to do it, and if not, he gets another one and then
So
the fines.
I can, should I just follow up with Kevin?
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, I know what I'm good with it.
Yeah, the motion, got a second, got discussion.
yeah, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, okay. Control.
Oh, this is. Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we accept the dog control report as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good, we got it, so home, that's good.
All right, DPW.
Go ahead. Have a big event going on this weekend, I believe. Oh, interesting thing, yeah. You're all set for people and everything? Okay, good.
Bill, we get that other tree yet?
I did know that. It's not.
I do, you can come with that, green, playground.
Okay,
I'll holler at him there tomorrow and see where it is. So
okay, thanks.
we may have to just go get it.
We got a little bit of time, but I don't want to wait till the last minute.
Your comment on playground mix is Newton Park, I remember we had to get special,
Yeah, we got a load of it.
so you got some more?
Yep.
Okay, wow.
When I get it back, we'll get it back
Special
over
stuff.
there and stuff.
Yeah. All right.
So my question is, and I don't know, like, when you're going down James Street with all the sidewalks, which look great, how do you determine which trees you're gonna remove? Does it?
The one that roll the sidewalk out.
The arborist doesn't determine it or anything like that?
No.
Well, for sidewalk replacement, right, it's these guys,
Yeah.
but for tree removal is the arborist.
Right.
Yeah. He's gone through and like checked all the trees in the village. But
That's already been determined. and it's doing
Yeah, like a lot of our ash trees, we only have one or two ash trees left alive in the village. Unfortunately, the one in Copeland has died. And they're monsters. Well, Steve's got one down, the other one on the corner, Cortland and Copeland have.
Okay, I just wasn't sure who determined which tree.
Oh, you know, I go look at it and stuff, and then I have a reversal.
Yeah. Yeah, he says if they can be saved or not.
Right.
Steve took the one in front of my house
Thank you.
down, it took him the whole day with his crew, they did a really great job. It's
Oh, yeah.
on Copeland, that was a huge
Yep,
tree.
that's the action.
Yeah, boy, I mean, it was an incredible project, hours and
So
hours.
when do you think you're gonna finish the 7,000 feet? That's backbreaking.
October?
Good question.
Yeah, that's what I was
I'm
guessing.
hoping just 3 months this year, but we're gonna probably go on 4 or 5 months on it, but
Oh,
I,
wow.
sent in my request for the paving, so that's gonna be in June or July, I was told, so I got a schedule around that.
No, no. So you're just gonna be doing it.
June, I'm waiting to do, Hugo Street and stuff, out when the kids are out of school.
Right.
I wasn't gonna do that.
Wow. Amazing job. I'll make a motion to accept the DPW report as written.
I'll second that. Oh, go ahead.
Any other discussion? Everyone's second. Any other discussion?
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you, Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, that's okay. Fire department. Chief report, look at that.
I think it's the new.
Where did,
Yes.
oh,
New stuff.
Jay, this is the new software, right? You're muted.
Yes, it is.
This is nice.
Try my best here. Hopefully it's a little cleaner than the last program we had.
It's much cleaner. Yeah, I like that. That's great. Oh, that's really great. That's, what's the, I mean, outside you have all the membership breakdown. I think really not, that's awesome.
I like that.
Anything else to add, chief?
There's gonna be a CPR training tomorrow that is open to all village employees. I was told to spread the word. I'm just trying to pull it up real quick. Where is it? According to, this is what I was reading. Village employees only would be ideal for CPR tomorrow. Tomorrow night at 1900 hours. If any village employee wants to have a CPR training, that's what I was told by the CPR instructor. Again, this is something that Chief Ford did last year, so I just got this thrown at me at 3 o'clock today. So I apologize if this is a blindside to any of you, but this was something that I guess has happened in years past. So that's out on the table for what I was told today.
Where is that, Jim?
It's at the community building behind the fire station tomorrow.
Thank you.
I have a question. I'm not sure you're the answer, but do we all have, are they AODs, those defibrillators? Does every building have one? You have one over there?
Every public building should have an AED there.
Of course, every year, I just put one in the water department.
All right, well, I'm old, so, you know, you never know.
You see,
I probably. And you got a car battery and triple cake. Nice. Nice.
Well, that's good to know. Do they get old or do you have to replace them? Are we on schedule? You know, after we got the best?
Yeah, the best, I just bought one for the water department.
All right, all right.
They said it was.
I didn't mean to make it.
They said that it was the one that they used on that football player.
Well, that's good enough by me.
the fire department has a schedule and a book like this.
Okay, great. That's good to have.
How much are it? You don't wanna know.
I do. 2 to 5.
Well, it's actually a lease. It's 100, it ends up being $100 a month, but that they do all the maintenance.
That's not bad. If it saves somebody's life, that's pretty.
Bargain.
Oh, wow, this data is awesome for this program.
Yeah,
I like it.
It talks about the dispatch time, the
I know.
time en route to the scene. Yeah, that's great.
The national average for volunteer fire service is about 5 minutes, so we're under that for both calls for the month of April, so. That's a good,
Coffee.
better than the cap.
That is awesome. Okay, man. Well, that'll help when it comes time for contract. Renegotiate. Reading that, make
I'll make the motion that we accept the fire department report. I'll second.
discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Steve,
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Jay.
Thank you. I'm gonna go coach T-ball now.
All right, good
Nice.
luck.
Coach team.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Thank you.
My kids used to go out and chase the butterflies. So I guess they still do.
All right. Police department, Chief Pittman.
He here or is he going?
Yeah, he's
How much is that?
Oh,
You don't
Yeah,
want to
twice.
play.
I wanted to be here so bad. Must be calling from a Chevy.
Here we go again.
You know, you really want to start that?
I know.
I gotta fire the first shot.
That's what I'm looking at, these updates.
I gotta fire the first shot because I know what's coming. so.
Mayor, I'll bring your attention to the vehicle portion of my report.
I had to get it out there early.
I have to thank the chief. He came over and helped me identify where to put up my little security cameras, which is very nice because I wouldn't have thought of this spot. So having a professional was very nice. So thank you, chief. I couldn't bribe him with a cold beer or anything either. So he was
You're welcome, man. That,
Good.
just thanking me that off.
Anything else you want to add to your 3.5-page report, chief?
No, sir.
Pretty
Would be 3.5 pages if it wasn't for that vehicle portion.
Knew it could be bad. You really gotta sell that car.
You sure it's not plural?
You were ready to go electric that quickly, we can do it.
No.
So we got Magic on Main scheduled for August 18th and National Night Out on August 1st.
Busy month there.
It's gonna be a busy.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept the police report.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion?
Good thing that the mayor came.
Let me throw out that by the time we meet again, the chief will have a chance to have gone to the FBI National Command Course. I look forward to hearing all about what you've learned there, and I'm so glad that you're able to represent the village and participate in this.
I'm glad you guys are allowing me the opportunity to go and bring back some good things to the department.
That's awesome.
It is,
And I'll be sure to show you some pictures.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, recreation.
Howdy, folks.
Hey, Zach, how's it going?
Doing good. I'm out at Kalale right now. Monitoring. That fucking hurt. Sorry. Monitoring softball and there's some t-ball out here practicing, and then I got to head over to the high school for basketball. I don't have my report in front of me, but you got any questions? Feel free.
I would like you just to continue to play-by-play.
I watched a ball come in and hit the wrong hand, not the glove hand, the not glove hand. So that looks a little painful.
Bigger.
Yeah.
all right, I'll make a motion to accept Zach's recreation monthly report as written.
I'll second it.
I do just need one thing. Why are we not partnered with the DCYSA this year?
So they run a summer program. It's like it's basically what we used to run. This year we don't have any field access besides Kalale Field, which we've got other plans for. The school is basically shut down all access this year due to renovations. And we're trying out a fall program, something that we think is going to work a little better for us. Something that the coach, varsity coach, and I, Chris, have been trying to champion for a couple of years with CCYSA. They don't really want to make some changes. So we're going to try our own thing. If it doesn't work, then we'll go back to the way we used to do it.
Basically just lack of fields.
This year, mostly, yeah. CCYSA is its own organization anyway. The Youth Bureau, Cortland Youth Bureau, partners with them. So we're not removing an option for people to play. They can still go play. The games will just be in Cortland and McGraw this year. If anything, we're really adding another option for people to play.
Super, thank you.
Too bad we can't get Casey Fields. I don't know.
So we got 10 concerts this summer.
Yep. So that's the big news. We added two total. Or was it three? Did we have three? No, two. Sorry. We had two concerts this year. Yeah.
And I see the YWCA swim lessons. Is that through Rec Desk too, Zach?
Yeah, we're coordinating with Merrill still. Haven't decided if it's gonna be a one-day thing or what we've done in the past. I have to revisit that with her. Yeah, but that's coming back. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so then, all in favor?
Aye.
Water and sewer. I already told people I love the new logos on the water market vehicles. I think it looks great. Good,
I haven't seen them.
You didn't love it?
What?
You didn't love it? You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I thought it was our old Homer.
No, it's Village of Homer. It's on the outside, but on the inside, it's different. It's,
Water at your service, I
I
think.
haven't seen it.
Is that what it says, Steve?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
it's blue.
yeah, it's nice.
Just to decipher us between the street department.
That way.
Well, no, we get it costed a lot of times when we're out doing, doing solar stuff and stuff. People pull up and ask us,
questions, when, yeah, when you're picking up my brush and other, you know, things.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even think about that, yeah, but that is a pain in the butt.
And you always tell them right away, right?
Yeah.
And get on it this afternoon.
When are you gonna plow my street or, you know? Stuff like that.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, it says you put 2 meters in the IGA, or that worked out pretty well. dig a
Well,
hole
we
in the
still,
sidewalk.
they still, I don't know if they communicate right yet, but,
That's good.
we might still have to go and connect the man, or we can hook up to them inside the store because he doesn't want it on the front of the building because of Main Street and there's
I
no,
agree.
to go out the back. The basement ends like 50 feet from the back of the building. So to get wires out through, and we just have to come up with a good way to do it yet, so, in that, but then there's an alleyway, but that's blocked, you can't even get in there to. I don't think they communicate anyway, so we're still work in progress trying to figure it out. So,
So what do you have, 2 meters, one for the store, one for the apartments?
yeah,
I'll make a motion to accept the water reports.
I'll second.
Any other discussion, anything else to add, Keith?
just, I'm kind of working on Ed's 10-year plan.
Not my plan, it's our plan.
Well,
I'm just saying, we should do it.
the way I look at it, if we can get the new tank in. And then we've got to deal with Clinton and Cuga Street, to me, that's 10 years. I mean, that, because I don't know how much the taxpayers can suck up when
We
we
can't.
get all this in,
A ton of grant money.
but. I don't know,
We gotta ask
we got
them.
more stuff from the health department. On the lead and copper rule, which that involves Clinton and Cuga Street, I mean, and Pine, which Pine is a real huge, there's only a few services there, but. I don't know how B and L is gonna handle this. I can't say they're gonna lie about it, but I don't know how, I mean, this lead and copper rule's gotta be. You gotta be project ready by 24 with this stuff, and there's there's lead all up down both them streets. It's all the original water mains and the gooseneck, lead goosenecks, and there's a few on River Street. I pulled one out the other day when we had to fix that water main up there. Pull the gooseneck out, so I mean, I don't know if you know what a gooseneck is, it's a lead about this long, and what they did is they used that to be able to bend down to the steel pipe to hook on instead of having to put,
Right,
angles, different couplers to do it. And I mean, so I sent everything to B and L, and
yeah, the the state legislature is fixated on banning lead ammunition on state lands as the big threat to our health, and they're ignoring the fact that there's lead drinking water pipes.
yeah, I mean, while they're not, I mean, this whole lead and copper rule is gonna be a big deal, because they want to know where every lead and copper is, and we don't have any other than tell you the street.
That could just give us ammunition to do this 10-year plan to replace all our pipes.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
there's,
$100 million job, 10 million a year, we get 7.5 from the government. Maybe we can come up with 2.5, I don't know, 5.
yeah, I mean, that's probably beyond my pay grade to figure that.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, but if you're pay grade to figure out what streets.
Well, I just told you because that's a lot of, that to me, that's a lot of money, and that's, to get all that done. I mean, you're gonna take up a few years just in planning and.
Oh, yeah, well, if we don't start now, we'll never get there.
That's true, though, Ed.
So I always.
There's a
figured
lot of stuff
it'd
that
be a
just
10-year
gets
program.
rolled down to us from the state and all the department that.
Well, they got money, we should try to get it. All right, did I make one? You guys have it? I make a motion that we accept the water report as written.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Keith, on you saw the roads that Bill wants to pave this
I
year.
mean,
right?
that's, all them roads are the newer, part of the newer system, 90s.
So, okay, so that's not, those aren't ones. All right, so now we have to worry about immediately, so,
It'll be 10 years from now.
Hopefully a little bit longer.
I mean,
Comment for digging up.
I call it, we were
Good idea.
put it.
Well,
They last 10 years. each row.
Right, but these pipes were put in the nineties.
I know.
So we should have at least a couple.
Well,
maybe-
no, the pipes are okay.
Right,
You know, I'm with you there.
yeah, we should have
At
at
least we're
least
not digging up the road.
a couple decades before we have to replace those.
Oh, the pipes, yeah, but when you do it all, you probably should do it all.
Okay.
Just
Next up,
Yeah.
not the
goes the floor,
You know.
goes the floor,
Fred, is still recovering
yes,
from surgery, but he's doing well. He
good.
sends his regards. I figure I will do my portion of the notes at the end.
Gotcha. Okay, very good. All right, next up, new business. Recognize Joe Pitt for almost 24 years.
Yahoo.
So,
Hi, John.
That's amazing.
It is.
we've got the plaque, the card. Yeah, let's see.
Now you can hear me.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
Joan Fudge, planning board ZBA secretary. That's a long time. I put up with every one of you with pleasure, with pleasure.
I can't thank you enough for all you did. I sat in on so many of those meetings and I don't know, literally don't know what we're gonna do without you. I really don't. You were sort of the glue that held everything together for those. And so I really appreciate it. You were a fountain of knowledge and you kept everyone in line and kept things moving and you were fantastic. And so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
Hey, Kevin.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah.
I taught her everything.
Yeah.
Hi,
Thanks.
Mr. Fitch.
How you doing? So do your speech now.
I don't have a speech except it was just wonderful. I love my job. I don't know if I like the retirement. I miss all the people.
Well, we miss you. Yeah, we miss you a lot, so. But enjoy your retirement anyway. You
So
had a great
far,
time.
so far, so good.
If you ever get bored, you can always zoom in.
My problem is I've gotten neuropathy now in my hands. And so it's difficult to do a lot of things. And one of them is type.
Well, you're welcome to join on Zoom and listen in if you start to miss it.
Oh, I missed that already. I probably won't this summer. I plan on sitting on my porch.
That sounds like a good plan.
Nice.
Yeah. But I'd like to thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Congratulations, Don.
So,
You're welcome.
we have you here. Would you
I had
like to address-
28 years with the town of Cortlandville.
Wow.
But you enjoyed this one more, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a politician. She's going far.
Okay, thank you, Manon.
Thank you, Mayor and Deputy Mayor and Board and Tanya. I see you there.
Thank you, Joan. This is
You're
Dan.
welcome.
Got any words from the legislature?
Well, since I'm here, I can just kind of cap on a couple of things. So as everybody is aware of, we're not perfectly happy with redistricting. But the legislature approved unanimously to put the 15 map up to the public to vote. But now it's up to the public for that. ARP funding. So we had heard, through NISAC and everything, the threat of the federal government pulling back the ARP funding of the unspent funds. Being said, we had allocated all unspent funding to go to broadband. With what we have with broadband, wouldn't even touch it
Right.
for that. So there is a funding stream, grants for broadband that we'll be pursuing. So one of the things we did find is the difference between encumbering and allocation. Allocation doesn't mean right anything.
Yep.
So what we did was we now took the unfunded or the funds that we did not have allocated. And we are now going through, it will be approved here at session for the rest of the funding to go to the county courthouse to pay for that. One reason why is because this is 2 years ago when they were looking at the funding, the steps for the courthouse were right at $680,000. Today, it's at 1.6 million for that. So that is where we felt that let's get that in there to finish up. Being said, and with Assembly Member Anna Kellis that we had groundbreaking Friday, we did receive 5.4 million from the state as a grant for the courthouse. With that and with the ARP funding that we're moving over, then that whole renovation will be paid for by grant funding and ARP funding. So that's a good one for that. Sales tax. So sales tax disbursement, we approved that at last session. We did receive 3.4% more this quarter than we did last year at this time. It's not a good thing, right? It's mainly from gas prices going up there. And what we did find out was car sales, which is one of the bigger sales tax that we grabbed. With the interest rates going up, it just shut down really the purchasing of vehicles. So we anticipated it going up. For that. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. I did give a proclamation at their celebration, their walk for that. And that's about really it. If anyone has anything that I might have missed.
It's also Asian Americans Month.
And it's Asian Americans Month, which I have, I think, next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. For that. Has anybody been to the courthouse?
I was
Yeah.
there last week.
So the Assembly Member Hannah Kellis, we ended up doing a tour. And I've not wanted to be into a courthouse, right? So she went and we were given the guided tour of that, went down into the tunnel that goes from the jail to the courthouse, which they can't use anymore. But she wanted to see that thing. It's a steel door. It's the old, it's from 1926. This door, so we opened it up, and it's just steam pipes that are in there, and she just went in between fearless. This lady was the most fearless person I've ever seen. So we went through all that, went up into the dome, and the dome. I hate heights. I really, not Anna Kellis. She just went up there. She goes, "Can I go up and be at the very tip top?" And she did it. She went right out there and she signed her name and all that on there. But if you ever get a chance to take the tour of there is stuff that I never even knew. One of them is that our county courthouse, our court on the third floor, 305, is all, the ceiling's all stained glass from 1926. And it's there today, and it's just amazing on what you see in the courthouse.
Wow.
So it is something to see for that. But she was impressed with the courthouse. And she said the outside doesn't do the inside justice. So it was really a nice thing to be able to showcase out there. Yeah, so she is a great person. Yeah, and she was really, she has really done us a huge thing right from the gate,
Yeah.
you know, for her. And she's here for the county.
Yeah.
And I would do that to say, you know, nothing bad to say about Assembly Member Callis. She's really done a good job for us.
That member was here last week or last meeting and met us.
That was.
That was somebody else.
From Fox.
Oh, that was Webb. Oh, okay.
We do have a kind of like a, except that we do that map. So we did get the notice, that, they are looking at weaning off of the funding, within 3 years. Which is a big impact. Right now, we're about 1.6 million that we now have to come up with for that. We think that we can do it. Looking at, we did pay off some bonds for that. We do have tail claims on our workers' comp that we can pay off, and that would save us, the county alone, about 500,000 a year. So if we do it right, it's really good having, you know, before me, there was no county administrator, there was no budget director, there was no auditor. I mean, we now have people in place to really thrive off of. So they do know that this is a huge thing for us to try to overcome. Because the one thing we don't ever want to do is there are only two streams that we have as revenue. And that is property taxes and sales tax. And we know that municipalities utilize that sales tax that they're given. So those are the last resorts. So we as a county are looking at, you know, finding money by paying things off, even if we have to pay a little penalty, but in the long run, that's what we're looking at. Just so everyone knows. But we'll see how it goes.
And I'll say, back to the redistricting, I don't hate that map. For Homer.
Well, I'll be honest with you, you know, when you look at it, because I do, I have people saying, well, you know, you gave the village a legislature. And it's like, well, if we look back at it, we look back at what was the state's guidelines. And really, the village of Homer is a community of interest. In that is one of the, actually the higher criteria that we had. And the population. I mean, the village is a really dense population.
Yeah.
So to me, okay,
Yeah,
we did it.
I thought it was great. I mean, I didn't think it could be done. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Camera. No, I think it's all right. And I think it's a compromise, you know, like I heard you on, I think it was. On Portland County, you were in something where I heard you talking about how.
Yeah, I do once a month with Joe Salzone.
Okay, all right,
On the AMC.
so, but. I'm glad that we're through it.
Right, so the
Now it
big,
goes to November, right?
Huh?
Now
Yeah.
it goes on.
yeah. So one of the big pictures and things that we're taking a look at is really now looking at creating a DPW for us. And once we can do that, I mean, we have carpenters on both sides. We have this, and I think we're looking now at efficiency And really trying to make things better. Has anybody been to the Dwyer Park?
Not since they put the dock in.
I've seen it.
I've seen the pictures, it looks like it's there.
So we allocated for that one project $100,000. Because that's what Charlie Sidbrink had said, it's about 100,000, and they were doing the work. It ended up costing us 40. For that, and their craftsmanship was,
That's great.
awesome. For that, so. I think our efficiency by merging those together will be beneficial.
There are things that the village, I know, a lot of times we think we're adversarial, but we shouldn't be. There's things that we should be more involved in. I mean, we go to meetings, do we do anything?
I could go to
I
the
know.
TVS meetings.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
I think that there's an opportunity to get a lot of money on the shared services stuff that we've been leaving on the table. Yeah, a lot, stuff that we've been doing, and I want to say she said we could go back. I want to say she said we could go back on and claim some for projects, but I'm not sure. But there's a lot of things that we can do.
I know I always wanted to get involved with the county and take over the Casey Fields as a park. I've been trying to get grant monies to buy it. We did almost in 2018, we got an appraisal and everything, but we as a village cannot do it alone, so. And so there's the ARPA money.
I know you're.
The town, us, and the city, that would make it's 88 acres and it's part of the walking. We're gonna have all. It's really kind of cool. We got the 10 million. So that's just a piece and get it started. People will come to the county. First county dog park too. Just like.
I'm gonna try to sell you the whole time.
He's got a 4 deal trying to sell you.
But now, actually, and then I'll leave it at this. So your chief came to the town of Scott and introduced himself and, which I thought was awesome. Their response to that trailer fire, the town could not say anything bad, and we're really on the thing of they got here awful quick for that. So I'm really happy that we have the village as our coverage, because you couldn't do it without. And we did have the public hearing for the exemption, looking at that.
Okay,
So we did have that, and that will be voted on, and I'm pretty sure it's unanimous on this month for session. But I still say it's something that maybe we can try to do more, because you got to get that volunteer fire department up. Preble have theirs, but they don't have the volunteers. And, they're responding, but they just don't have the manpower. And I think if we can end up getting that manpower back up, it'll be a lot better for that.
yeah, statewide volunteer firefighting numbers have plunged. Trying to find ways to reverse that is at times difficult with all the other things that are going on right now. And the other outside influences that attract a lot of our younger people that would be in the age range for our younger firefighters.
So thank you for everything, and thanks for the.
Thanks for letting us put you on the spot.
You should come back more often.
Well, I'm more than happy to.
I didn't say a thing that I didn't mean with my heart, because she's just been, I don't know, I really don't know what to do without her.
We've said a lot of nice things about her over the years.
He's just like, he was just always on it.
Yeah,
Corporate memory and everything.
She's excited you're coming to her house to bring everything.
Yeah.
I told her you were coming, so she was really happy.
Gonna bring cookies.
Yep.
flowers.
Flowers. Arnold's maybe open yet.
Yeah, Just my presence.
But when you see her again, reiterate how much we miss her.
Yeah.
And really appreciated her.
Yeah, will do.
And thanks for coming down.
Yeah, thank you.
Open invitation anytime you want to come.
Okay, be happy to. Okay?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
All right,
Reduce my notes at the end of the meeting by half.
there you go. No, that covered it.
We're always in favor of that. Yeah.
All right. So next up, I got these pictures here of the rec building and all the work that's been done, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed.
Man, I didn't know the place was, water damaged so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever happened.
Yeah, we opened that door and water is running out of it.
Adam, quite
Serious?
Oh,
that's good, really.
Yeah. But this looks great.
Yeah, they did an awesome job.
It
I
really did.
think, a great office and, or
Something, yeah, I mean, you
Right.
know, we got a, that's a TBD
you know, this
because
place for meetings for people, they need it.
could be, but I just want to thank, Ken Ford, Paul Coolidge, Devin Moore, Keith White, Mike Gagliotti, and Joe Stage for all the work on this.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You guys appreciate it. I mean, you really did a awesome job.
Yeah, it looks great.
Are we at the point now where everything's done and we just have to figure out what we want to do with it?
All the trim, everything's done.
All the trim, even the trim works.
Trim work's done.
Trim works are never done.
We even have,
Ah,
we even have, it's for the IT to have the internet back up and everything.
All we lack is a couple of the outlets aren't working, so. I can come back.
Yeah.
Fix them.
Nothing for the decision right now, but with the events that we have coming up, could we possibly open that up for additional restroom facilities for some of our events?
I would say, yeah, I would say, why not? But we should figure out a way to utilize the space more than just that, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We
but-
could put, a cooling station. You make it a cooling station for people that get too hot or something.
Yeah.
Figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, let me know if you're gonna do that, because I'm gonna have to block the back of the building off.
Yes, I would only have access to
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Until we figure out what we're gonna do back there. With the concrete pad.
Yeah, we still gotta figure out what to do with
Yeah.
the concrete pad and the old
Yeah.
railing that's.
Yep.
oh, right. Yeah, only one way in and out.
I have to put a cover along where the camera setup
Yeah, yeah.
is, all that stuff.
That puts it there.
Yeah, 'cause we should probably look at doing that anyways, because whatever we put in there, we probably want separate from the
For sure.
camera and the other digital stuff.
Yeah.
And the entryway itself could use a little spruce up,
Could
so.
use-
I can remember having board meetings. Imagine
Yeah, we did a lot. Yeah, that was ridiculous, but now. it was no stage. All right. You guys don't have to stay if you don't want to.
Who does?
Oh, Bill has to
Yeah.
stay. All right.
And she does the bottom one.
I'm staying.
Oh, Keith's at the bottom. Well, then, you guys have to stay.
Yeah.
Could you move that?
All right.
It's easy, my choice.
Next up, appoint Lucia Caravella to temporary part-time clerk.
I'll make that motion that we do that.
I'll second that.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Appoint John Scanlon Jr. to part-time officer position.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
I swore him in the other day, nice guy, and so it's good, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Approve Michael Albro and Jameson Swab softball umpires for recreation department.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
I see on Zach's rec report that he wanted to get Coach Basilic in as a football camp instructor.
Yeah, I saw that, but I thought we did that. Or do we have to make it separate, the name,
And it's a motion.
the name?
Well, it'd just be to hire Gary Budziak as football camp instructor.
I'll make that motion.
Only a legendary coach after all.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, it's okay.
So the CHIPS bill came in, I was going through the, all the bills that we got from Coat and everything, or that boggles me for all that stuff, but. They only put down a half an inch of top coat. That's
No,
is that normal? I'm going to see
12.5
millimeters. 12.5 millimeters is only half an inch. I don't know.
No.
Doesn't matter. I'm sure happy.
Yeah.
You happy?
I'll make sure
Okay,
it's 2 inches.
I'm in. Now,
There's two. in-
Whatever you grind out. You put back in.
so the original one before it got updated was like 150K. And then it came back in. Is that because of the quotes came in higher?
That's because I didn't know Maple Drive was an either or. I thought with every other stapled one, you add them together. So there was a 26,000 and a 24,000 vote, and it was either or instead adding.
That was my fault. One was for grinding, one was for overlay. They call it.
Alright. So we have to find 16K from someplace?
Well, no, we have excess of 16,000. And the POP funds will carry for 5 years, so you don't have to spend it this year.
Excellent.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, in our favor.
I'll make the motion that we accept the CHIPS funding as stated.
I got a hold of Don today. And so, go ahead and get you signed off, but. Oil may go up. This is just up. So it goes up the price of oil.
Yeah.
So it may, a lot of the streets might go up to $3,000 for free.
Yeah.
So it gives us some buffer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'd like to put this out, so our residents know, we're looking at Tobin, Laurel Lane, Holly, Maple, Sunset, and Selma. Correct, Bill?
Yes.
Alright, so. Those, I'll say it one more time for Tobin, Laurel Lane, Holly, Maple, Sunset, and Selma.
All right, first up, we need to approve the CHIPS allocation for 23-24.
I'll make a motion that we accept the CHIPS allocation for 2023-2024. I'll second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
21 miles. So this is 1/10, right? 2 miles or so.
Next up, approve the roads for CHIPS, or which are the ones that Pat just read, Tobin, Laurel Lane, Holly, Maple, Sunset, and Selma.
I make a motion that we approve the roads as listed. Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, next up, accept the B and L proposal for the Newton Water tank grant application.
I don't know if it's good or bad. I think we gotta do it.
There she is. We have Jacqueline from BNL on too.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you all. It's been a little while since I was last in front of you all. So if you want to start with that proposal, I think Taylor sent that over. That would just be getting the bond resolution and seeker all ready to go for WIA application, which is later in July. So it's a bit of a quick schedule, but we think it's doable and we can get it done in time for that application.
That's good. Yeah. Seems like a the right move.
I'll make a motion to accept the BNL proposal as stated.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
I
Aye.
think we win finally.
And just so that everybody, for, it's not to exceed lump sum fee of $5,000.
All right, I think that's it.
Yeah, if you want, I don't know if Dan sent over, I sent over just a little bit of a summary for the water and for the sewer projects, just for an update while I'm here. I don't know if you guys have that in front of you all or not.
They do.
But if we want to start with the sewer project, we're in a pretty good spot with that. We're ready to move forward on design. We'll be sending over a amendment later this month, just an internal review, so we should be getting that over pretty shortly here. And just as a reminder, seeker and bond resolution are already done for that project. So we are already in a good spot to apply for WIA again this year. That bond resolution, just as a reminder, was the 5.488 million. And then for a brief schedule, we'd be looking to get survey done basically through October, and then we'd get into preliminary design early next year. Final design would go through about summer of next year, and then towards the fall, we would be looking to send that in for regulatory approval. And then we would look to bid the project about winter time frame. It tends to be a good time to bid projects. We usually try to target around then. And then we'd be looking to hopefully get construction started up in the summer of 2025. So that's for the sewer project. Any questions on that before I jump over to water?
Any rough estimate on how long the construction will take?
That's a little bit hard. We most times estimate about a year, but obviously COVID has kind of put a wrench into some of our estimates a little bit recently. So if all goes well and all the parts and everything is able, we're able to get those pretty quick, then we typically estimate about a year. So one construction season.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then moving on to the water project, obviously you guys already talked about that proposal. I did include an updated cost estimate for you guys. Now, we are working on getting some updated cost estimates from the two tank manufacturers just to revise our numbers from last year. So the 3.8 million that we have in there is just, we added about 30%, I think, to the original estimate. So we'll work on getting actual numbers for you from the tank manufacturers. And then proposed schedule for that one, like I said, is a bit quick to get in for that funding application deadline in July. But we would be looking to do seeker part 1 and the intent to be lead agency your next meeting. And then at beginning of June, we would look to schedule the public hearing for the bond resolution. And then at the beginning of July, we would do seeker and your neg deck, public hearing and bond resolution. We'd be getting all of that, like I said, ready to go for the funding application. And we'd also need to loop in Doug for all of the bond resolution items as well. So I think that's pretty much all my updates. Are there any questions or anything on that? Fairly straightforward, at least for this first few steps to get us to the application timeframe.
No, looks good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Approved check run on Friday, May 12th, 2023.
Make a motion that we approve the check run for Friday, May 12th, 2023.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, next up.
No, oh, I got a question. You needed me to come in
Friday.
Friday morning?
Yep, that's why we're doing it.
What time? I wanted to go to camp, that's,
You can come at 8:30.
yeah, that's not too bright.
Well.
I'm still in my jammies. I'm still in my jammies. Still in my jammies at 8:30. This retirement is good. All right.
So whatever you want.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Oh, my.
Jeez. You're doing too much information. so.
No, it's been a fun meeting. Okay.
He was just doing a visual.
That's what I meant. Nightmare, the whale's gone now.
All right. Pat, would you like to? Okay, sure. All right. Amnesty Day will be Saturday, May 13th from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. No curbside pickup. You're gonna enter a different way. So you're gonna enter through the DPW and exit through the compost site. So you're not turning around, you're just pulling in, pulling out. So, village residents only, bring your ID, because, they will be carding. At the door, white goods, stoves, washers, dryers, hot water heaters, and metal wastes. Anything that has refrigerant must have a certification of purging. Lumber or anything made of wood, no tires, no televisions, no microwaves, no computers, no batteries, no garbage. The compost site will be people who need to take or leave compost. No recyclable.
And the compost site will be closed on Mother's Day. We've
Compost
had-
site, yep, will be closed on Mother.
And the reason for that is that's to prevent other people from stopping in and dropping more stuff off.
Yeah.
It may be closed all the way to Tuesday possibly.
Yeah.
As soon as all the dumpsters are out, then we'll open the gate.
Right, so yeah, compost site will be closed after Amnesty Day till the dumpsters are gone, then reopen. Good. All right, discussion on permits for events.
Something we will need to look at is. So there's been some businesses that are doing a bunch of events, but we don't have necessarily anything in the codes to help regulate that. And it's getting a little out of control, so we need to do something to provide some guidance to make sure that these events are safe and within the bounds of.
That's a good point, Pat. Yeah.
So, David, you make copies for everybody?
Yep, they'll have it in your packs. You have the New York Village law that accounts for it, and then there's a sample from Village, I believe it's East Hampton. That's very thorough regarding special permits and events, types thereof, what's permitted and not permitted, things like that. So it's very detailed. So TBD for us, but stuff to go over.
It's a good thing, yeah, because then you want to make sure that insurance and.
So nothing to decide tonight, but something to start the ball rolling. And either something.
People.
Thank you for providing this.
No, there's.
Well, no, for us first.
Oh, we look at it first, right, all right, I'll take it.
Can you give us a brief synopsis of it? Not at this time.
All right. Discussion on water pipes, road repairs.
Kind of already did.
Yeah, we
But-
sort of already did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of got through it, and
All right.
let's get one question.
I think,
And your plan is what we need.
I'll make one thing before we. Well. Not exactly. Yeah. Make sure Phil's still.
Dante, anything from you, sir?
No, nothing for me.
All right. Comments by board members, let's start with Chatty over here.
I'm good.
Yeah.
The DRI is started off and that's great, but I think you know,
Yeah, it was a meeting, no, it's about our meeting.
yeah, and
Yeah. it was a meeting, you know.
an article in the paper today, hey, it's up to the people to come up with ideas and what have you. And, everybody gets maybe could be less than 30%, so you've got to put skin in it.
Yep.
It's not an inexpensive deal if you get 10 million, but that doesn't mean everything's free, because it isn't, something like 30% off. Because for us, we get 100%. You aren't worried about taxes. I'm not.
Yep, all right. Dave, he's got a list, so.
Now I won't go through the dam and
Who wants to go
salt shed
next?
and all that stuff. That's all.
I didn't have anything until I came in here tonight, because I've got a problem with my foot, so I'm crutching, so I took the elevator. And I had discussed this long time ago, I've been involved with people with disabilities for most of my life. And the town is putting a ton of money into this building. And that elevator is not fast. You can only fit one wheelchair, probably with the lungs.
Right.
Maybe this is already being addressed. I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Well, I think that Brad and the town board should take a look at that. To see if it could be improving. It's not terrible. I got up here, but
I know it's slow.
it's very slow. And you can only, if there were 2 or 3 people and we come into a meeting in a wheelchair,
Yeah,
it would take them a while to get here.
yeah, that's a fact.
There's something that maybe they should,
That's a fact.
and that's all.
All right.
I don't have anything new to add, but I do want to thank Kevin for bringing up that important issue. I think we should definitely be thinking about how this building is open to the public and accessible to all. One of the members of the recreation committee is an active participant in the senior center. And I know they use this building a lot, so when I have the next rec meeting next week, I'm going to ask and see if he has heard any other complaints or concerns about how the building works for all participants. Perhaps we can come up with a few different ideas for to bring to the town.
Very good.
All right, so on behalf of Fred, some of the highlights that are pertinent to the village. The town hall had the fire inspection that was completed on 4/14/2023. There's some minor issues to be corrected, and they'll do that. They are proceeding with the town hall basement. Have somebody come in and give an estimate with some better numbers. They're hoping some more accurate numbers. They did discuss the village car charging station at the town hall, because we had mentioned that. And that's something, do we want to continue to move forward with that?
We need. By the end of, I would say, 2025, we should have at least 3 stations. 4. I mean, I think we need one, we need that one to put this in. We need one over to 281.
Does anybody talk to the gas stations to see if they've got plans for earning?
You know, that's a good idea, because I would
I
think
know,
that's a natural.
Solid,
They put them up there,
yeah,
Tesla put in like 8.
but those are Tesla owned.
Those are
that's
Tesla
the problem.
right.
Yeah, they're free.
I don't know.
So because they're doing the renovations downstairs and they are concerned about the electrical draw, we need to provide them with what the electrical draw would be.
Yeah.
As well as, you know, who owns the equipment, what are the costs, profits, who carries each. They're interested to know how often our other one is being used and what the contract length is. And
Yeah.
Tanya sent me a bunch of information. So if we want to continue with this, then we'll get that information over them.
Don't those chargers and stuff change frequently or not?
It's,
Our old one is just fine,
well,
everybody.
the old piece of crap.
Yeah, why?
It's a lot of lemon.
I mean, as you know,
Costs a lot of money.
technology, when you buy it, it's already old.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
But the-
Why are we investing in technology that's
We're-
old already? Interesting.
We're not,
Discussion.
because it's pretty much almost totally grant funded.
You know,
And nice that the schools have included a plan as they're updating and expanding some of their parking lots.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a fleet of vehicles.
You get a lot of people
Yeah.
park there all day.
Fans, we have the grant money.
Oh, no, I don't have a problem taking the grant money. I'm just thinking that the idea is that, you know, you have these and then they're antiquated, you know, like I said, almost. So I don't know how we get a whole ahead of that cycle.
You know, it's technology, it's just like, you can't not buy a phone just because you know it's gonna be outdated the second you get it home.
Well, my phone is 5 years old and it's $175 and it makes phone calls just perfect. I don't need $1,000 iPhone. I
Well,
don't think.
no,
I don't
You
know. I don't have one, so I don't know. I don't know.
But again, it's outdated.
Maybe I need one. This
Again,
one's been outdated when I bought it.
Right.
$75. But I like it.
So we're moving forward on that.
All right, just saying.
They are gonna be doing some work on the balcony stairs for safety issues. And so the Memorial Day Parade is Monday, 29 May. The parade starts at 9 AM. It's gonna be the same route. Manor Powers from the American Legion will be sending out emails to gather attendees. For those of us that are gonna be here, we'll meet right here at the town again, town hall, and we think we've got our ride lined up.
Looking at you. Looking at you, then. What do you mean, for the oldest guy in Homer?
It started today, so it runs.
So that's out there. The Pine Street Bridge was yellow flagged for caution. However, we're still good for it because when they had originally did the work rating for 9 tons. We use it at 5 tons, so we've got quite a bit of cushion. But we are using, when I say we, the bridge committee, Paul Sweeney, we are using this as additional leverage to try to get funding for the Wall Street Bridge, saying, look, you know, we got our other bridge is kind of, so we'll see how that works. On my notes, Little League opening day was past Saturday and couldn't have asked for better weather. I'd like to thank, well, Chief and the fire department aren't on anymore, but they gave the police escort with the fire trucks and great turnout. It was awesome. We have got so talking about the glass recycling, talking with our regional, was it region? No.
Yeah.
So I've got the registration for a solid waste management facility. Phil, I will fill this out so we can be official. But just a reminder to our residents that we have a glass pickup point and with our new dumpster.
Yeah.
Which is bright yellow and says glass only, so feel free to use it. I'd like to congratulate Lucas Sweeten, who passed his written CDL permit.
Yeah.
So good job to him, pass that along. And so we can't wait to see him practicing.
Thank God it isn't truck.
I would like to, when Kevin was mentioning the ARPA, I would like to add to our next board meeting, a discussion on trash cans. The possibility of using some of our ARPA funds for the purchase of village-owned trash cans. And I'd like to do that for a couple of reasons. One, our contract with Syracuse haulers, we've got 2 years left, and like Ed has mentioned many times, and now the time to plan is now. But 2, if we have our own cans, we open up a whole wider range of possible vendors to pick it up besides just Syracuse haulers. So, and if we go in-house, then we'll already have the cans, we use the ARPA funds, it won't be raising taxes on anybody.
Very good.
So
So,
we have this discussion last meeting.
I think we just need to approve it. I think we need to add it to an agenda to say yes.
Well, you mentioned it, but it wasn't anything official.
yeah, we've got,
Move forward.
so how about for the next meeting, we go ahead and get quotes
About 50,000,
and
We need to,
about $45 a can.
we need to talk to Mayor Steve, they got a lot, and then we were able to.
Yeah, We'll get it from his vendor. And because we also want to see what they printed, instructions on the underside of the lid, what can and can't go in. We can pick our logo, we gotta pick what color we want them to be.
Well, if we could get blue and white. It would be
You can get blue and white for the garbage, but you gotta get a different color for the recycling. You gotta stick with green or something, right? Or else they're not gonna be able to differentiate.
so I
I'm
like
just
to,
picturing blue and white throughout the.
Oh, like a blue can and a white can?
that might be
White's
difficult in the
gonna look
winter.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
White
white.
white will get pretty scuzzy after a while.
Just.
Yeah, but I like to think.
So before we get into go down the rabbit hole here, I think for the next meeting, if we can get 3 quotes,
Right.
and then maybe vote on it and work out our funding stream.
Yeah.
And do that for the end of the month,
Let's do it.
if that's good for everybody.
Wow.
I'm excited.
I'm down with it.
We talked about the DRI updates, so nothing more to add there. Have we heard anything more about, from the landscape architect for the Route 11 Linear Park?
No, but I'll check on that.
I got that.
You got that? Thank
I'll take care of it.
you.
I'd already planned on getting a hold of her. I just had a chance, but yeah, it's been all quiet. She was supposed to get back to us the week after she was approved, and she is not.
The Eagle Scout project, the flowers that were purchased for that are in.
Okay.
So I was talking with Phil just on the way in, we need to figure out where we want to put the boxes, and that way we can get the flowers planted.
Yeah, I think we need to pick a spot down there and put them. I saw where they are, but once we fill them with dirt, we're not gonna want to unfill.
So, right.
We
Now,
can
when
use
that's
a
worked out-
forklift or something.
Yeah.
Well, there is a little bit of gap, so I don't know if we could get we may be able to get the top.
I don't like this.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd rather move it just once
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
fill it with dirt.
I have a little linear park update, if I can just tag on to it.
Please.
Phil and I and Contento were down there, a few weeks ago, I guess, right? Couldn't have Contento as part of his original contract startup, basically right where that bridge is to Casey Fields. There's a lot of blacktop. Take all that blacktop out, take all the weeds and grubs, any miscellaneous trash.
Yes.
We're gonna touch a little bit of the NICEAG property. And it's a little bit of the NICEAG property that actually doesn't have any of the gravel on it, really.
Okay.
So already been in contact with them.
Good.
I'm gonna work up, they want a little agreement, even for that little patch, of course. They're fine with what we're gonna do with it, dig it all up and just not even bring in dirt. Don't want to bring in dirt, just hydro seed it. And then we'll maintain it until obviously we start installing the park. So that's forthcoming, that agreement and things like that.
I just was a little terrified because your hand gesture of clearing out the concrete, I was thinking, we're just pushing it all right in the river.
Well, we need some riprap along the riverbank, so
No,
might do well.
And the hydro season, I can talk with Soil and Water and they have programs, so if they still have enough money, we can get all that down for free.
ooh, like that. Yeah, all right.
Last thing I have then is, so I think we need to look at getting some signs for Gerke Park, both the north and the south end of the village owned property that says no overnight camping or
Oh, yes.
to that effect. There's been some trespassing and it's been impacting the senior center. And I think we need to kind of get ahead of that, and that's
Yeah.
just one step.
That's a great idea.
So I know Chief Pittman has probably some verbiage. Phil, he'll probably get with you for about the signs.
Yeah, we're getting pretty good for the signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 20 feet in from their building is our property.
Right, right. So I think if with the board approval, if we
Yeah.
can move forward on that.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's been, I know when we camped a hike through there and looking for a trail, there was, a guy in there camping. Homeless.
So, it's a safety issue for them and for anybody else. I mean, if any, God forbid anything was to happen, right now you just can't get back there.
Let's move forward with this.
And that's all the notes I have.
all right. We have a few things that I'll actually stem from, a couple weeks ago, I went to the conference, the Democratic Rural Conference in Saratoga Springs. Some really productive stuff. I met with Hochul's staff and talked to them about some of the concerns in the village, some of the things that we're looking for funding wise. I talked to Senator Webb. We're trying to work with her office to get the DASNY funds released to the town that they are still owed for the work that they did a long time ago. They still haven't gotten the DASNY funds. I sat with the deputy supervisor of the town of Dryden, and might be worth going and looking, but they've got a bridge that they're looking to get rid of, and we could have it. The Freeze Road Bridge. I don't know if it's a one lane bridge, but he said it's ours if we want it, so. I'm like,
What tonnage is it rated for?
that we have to go back. I think 5, but
That doesn't cut it for.
yeah, I know. And then from that, I'll brag a little because I think it's pretty awesome. Lieutenant Governor Delgado called and their office set up a meeting with me. So I met with him for a half hour here in the village hall last Saturday. I guess it was, time goes fast. So we sat down for half an hour and talked. Dan was there and he had one staffer. It was a great conversation. We went through a lot of the things the village before. We talked about the water tank and we talked about changing the way we fund the water lines. We shouldn't, it shouldn't be something that's a competitive grant. Everybody has water lines. It should be chips for water and sewer. So I pushed that. So it was good. It was a good conversation. He's an impressive guy. So yeah, that was good.
They're not trying to poach you or anything.
Nope, but I'm telling you, this guy is gonna be governor. He spoke later that night at the dinner and my mom said, boy, I hope I'm gonna have to see him be president. Because he is really something else. So he represented when he was in Congress, the 5th largest district in the country. It was one of the very most rural districts, the larger district in the whole state of Connecticut. Yeah. So
Alaska.
he's from he grew up in Schenectady. But yeah, very rural area. It had 5,000 farms in his district. And that's all I have. Before we go to executive questions from the media.
Yes, so for the water tank, is that a replacement of a current water tank or adding a new one?
Replacement of a current tank that's leaking 6 gallons a minute.
Well, the one tank we shut off because that started leaking last year. There's a bladder in there that's ripped, and then the second tank is leaking right now, which I hope it doesn't get leaking too bad, but.
Is it just the two?
Just so you know, we have 3 water tanks.
Okay.
We have one,
We got that. I've ever seen 2 steel tanks up here on Caraway.
Mhm.
That's the 2 there.
Yeah, we have one on each side of the
Then
building.
there's one behind the cemetery and this concrete one.
and keep the size of the one, the concrete one up above the cemetery. How many gallons is that?
800,000.
All right, so that's the one, the concrete one is 800,000 gallons. The other 2 on the east side are 200,000 gallons each.
That's 120 and 170.
Right. So we're not in danger of anything.
Right.
But
Yeah, don't take that.
yeah, that's why I want to give a little context there.
This is basically to put in backup.
And since the ones are across 81, would have put it up. We're right next to the other one on by the cemetery, so we don't have to deal with 81 anymore.
They did that after 9/11. They were just. Everybody was paranoid about water and everything else. So that's why they did that.
I was told the water when COVID hit, I'm gonna tell you, that was my #1 concern, so.
Well, one good thing, we're not linked to the computer with anything with our water system. So, you know, we can do that.
Okay, any other questions?
For the road repairs, how much was allocated in CHIPS funding? I don't think it was a spreadsheet.
66,000.
Just the chips is 100,775.
It's actually 4 different grants.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is it a
Alright.
copy?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And then what work is being done to these roads? Is it just like? I'm not in road construction.
They'll be ground down 2 to 3 inches and then 2 to 2.5 inches on top will be put back in.
We replace 1/10 of our 21 miles every year. That's the plan. That's what we can. Kind of like the plan I want for our pipes.
That's a lot of money.
I know, just. I know, but that's, you got places that or.
Could I get a copy of the water tank proposal?
I got.
Got myself.
You got it?
Yeah. I think the motion that we go into executive session.
this the last
New York
page?
State Public Office Law, Article 7, Section 5,
Sorry.
Section F. The medical, financial credit, or employment history of a particular person as leading to the appointment,
Information. It's not really
employment, promotion,
for
demotion,
public consumption because it's just.
suspension, dismissal,
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, thank
of a particular person, and section D, discussions of proposed pending or current litigation. At 19, we're just gonna say 19:30 hours because we're gonna take a short break there.
No, I know, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
we have somebody that will do minutes.
Yeah.
I want you to be.
And you could probably give her, leave that for her because people were talking and it might not have picked up on the microphone.
I can mention, I can read it again.
I think if you just hand it, you can just ask it if I were.
On whose desk?
Maureen's desk.
Oh, yes, oh, yeah, that, got it.
Can I do a shout out to the residents on Park Street?
Yeah,
BDS will be there tomorrow morning to start the rehab.
tomorrow morning, Park Street.
Yeah.
BDS will be there.
Topsoil, blacktop and concrete.
All right.
I want to make sure they get that sidewalk back in.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that motion's made. Do we have a second?
I'll second.